Welcome to Crypto Esoterica. I'm your host Chuck, and if you watched my last video, you got an idea of what we're going to do with this channel. It's more 80% esoteric, which is just your inner knowledge, and once you understand your inner knowledge, you know how to deal with the exoteric or the outside world and their knowledge. Topics that we're on is cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and the whole ecosphere of that, but it's only about 20% of this channel. If you want 80% of crypto news and topics and my picks and my secret hints, then that's going to be on Crypto Casual, which will come out a couple times a week. But right now we're just doing Crypto Esoterica, so let's get started on that. And throughout, if you feel like tickling the robots and the AIs, then hit that like button, the bell, notification, all that stuff. All right, so let's get started. All right, the topic today is just to bring knowledge to the hungry and to basically bring cosmic drink to those who are thirsty. And the main topics that the knowledge that we're going to give you that's going to quench that cosmic thirst is the origin of you and your thoughts. And yes, this can be an hour-long or 2-hour topic, but we're going to make it into about 10-15 minutes, so stay with me. And then we'll get into the origin of Bitcoin, not necessarily the history of Bitcoin, but the origin of Bitcoin, esoterically speaking. The order of your real thinking, or the order of reality, as Bitcoin is just within a sphere. We got to understand, where did it come from, right? It came from code. Where did the code come from? It came from people typing, right? Into a computer. Where did the computer come from? And we can keep going down that rabbit hole until we end up with no thingness, right? So we'll get into decentralized thinking as opposed to centralized thinking. And we know what that is: the banks, religions, medicine. Nothing against them, it's just they serve you for a period of time and then they don't. My old running shoes served me for a while, but they fell apart because they just couldn't hold up to the strength, the speed of my pace, and so I had to buy new shoes, right? So we need to buy or change our new thinking, our old thinking into new thinking, if that makes sense. So what that's going to do is help you understand that you don't need a savior in this world or a savior in some esoteric world. The only one who's going to save you and create your own financial savings account is you. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So that's basically ownership responsibility. So basically, humans, what are we? I mean, let's just get down to the space within the space within the space. You know, between the atoms, between the electrons, what are we really? We're just space, right? And what is the glue that holds our DNA together, right? Our atoms together. In essence, we don't know. Electromagnetism, we can call it gravity, we can call it whatever. Our science doesn't know, unless you're into the noetic sciences or secret society sciences that aren't mainstream. That's another conversation for another time. Anywho, let's just get to how you came to be, right? And then how you came to be is going to help you understand how you think, right? And is your thinking attracting to you magnetically the reality that you are choosing to have? If not, then we're going to help you get through this, help you solidify your thoughts through a wave of energy to a wave form. And then we're going to formulate and form cryptocurrency out of thin air, right? We're going to attract that to us. Make sense? Right? So hang in with me, stay with me to the end. So basically, we all come from what I call a DNA lottery, right? Your mother and father spun their DNA together and you got the pick of the draw, if you will, just like a regular lotto. And so who you are is a mixture, a lottery basically, of the traits of your father and your mother and their grandparents and their parents and their parents, and we can go all the way back to whatever your mythological origin story is. We have Adam and then we have Adam. We split the atom and turned it into subatomic, then we have Adam and split that into Eve and Cain and Abel and their wives. But it's the same system, one's right brain, one's left brain. So we look past all these stories and we look at the essence of everything, and the essence is energy, right? And we then are not trying to change the form, we're going to go into a conscious state that then routes the wave before it becomes a form. Making sense? Maybe a little too much right now? Well, let's just get on to it. So basically, we are a computer-generated image, right? Just like a JPEG or anything else in this reality, right? What you think is real, right? How did you come up with what's real in this life, right? Where did you come up with your belief systems, right? These are centralized systems. Belief systems are centralized, right? It came from an institution. because they want to institutionalize you to their system so that you give your hard-earned money and time to them. Well, we're going to go and reverse that and go into the sovereign mentality. We're not a victim of life, right? So if you think you are a victim of life, then you're going to need a savior to save you. Or you think there is an enemy, right? The institutions, they always have a boogeyman, boogie woman, whatever you want to call them. They have a boogie, and that boogie, right, they use as a demon to come after you, and they will protect you, but they are the creators of that demon that they're going to save you from anyway, right? So the financial systems, they say, oh, it's for your best benefit to you give us your money. No, sovereign mentality says I want my money and I want it when I want it. I can create it, I can lose it. No one stops, the government and the financial system say, hey, we're here to protect your money, so therefore you can't invest in this or you can't do this, right? In crypto land, we can't go into certain cryptos because our US government won't allow it. But yet they'll allow you to take your full paycheck, walk into a casino and blow it all in one sitting at the crap table. Right? They're not stopping us. They're not regulating that. So why are they regulating things? Because it interferes with their agenda of taking your sovereignty, your financial sovereignty, your mental sovereignty, your religion sovereignty, right? We'll get into spiritual sovereignty. And I know we're a little over the place right now, but let's just stick with it. So we are a unique, 23 unique combination, right? And that can create millions and millions of different looking people and characteristics within us. We all have talents, but not everyone necessarily can use those talents because the system is against them. But again, they're not our enemy. We can educate ourselves, right? Not through their institutions, but through our own institutions. So once you understand how you came to be, then you understand how you think, right? So where do your thoughts come from? Who's thinking these thoughts? Are they being put in from somewhere else? Are you the victim of someone else's interfering with your mind, your spirit? No, it's you. And it's you who is responsible for the way you think. You're responsible for the outcomes of your thoughts. And a lot of people in our societies don't take responsibility because they've given their power over to the institutions. They've given their minds over to think tanks, right? Even the newspaper today says you don't need to think about anything. We know better, we'll think for you. The banks say, hey, we know better about money than you do, so give us your money. The religions say, we know about your soul better than you, so give us your soul. Right? We got a savior for you, right? Whatever that religion or mythology is, they got a savior for you because there's a demon lurking around the corner, right? And so science really, there's no agreement of where we came from. There's a bunch of theories, there's a bunch of theses out there, some hypotheses or hypothesis, and there's super theses, but again, they're all theses. There's no fact to any of them because science just doesn't understand. They look at everything from the form. They define the form, they look at what the form's doing, but they don't understand where the form came from. So the goal of this channel is to help you understand that before something came to be a thing, it was a no thing. So we want to get into the no thing, put us in the position of the flow coming in. We want to see the letter A forming before it becomes the letter A and gets used in asshole or something, right? We want to take that information and we are the ones who regulate it with the freedom of our mind, the sovereignty of our soul. It's our soul that directs this energy, this free-flowing energy, right? Sovereignty is freedom. So once you take responsibility for your thinking, your thoughts, you then can direct the preform. And then you can formulate whatever you want and how you want to do it, whatever that is for you. And if you don't know what that is, once you get that freedom, you have an opportunity. That's whatever you're hungry for in life, that's what you're going to go after. Making sense now? A little bit better? So all thingness comes from the no thingness, so understand that. And we talked about who's in control of your thoughts. You are. The churches aren't in control of your thoughts. If you give it to them, they are. The government's not in control of your thoughts, only if you allow them to. If they say, hey, go do this or go do that, and you say, blindly, yes, let's do this, right? I don't want to have this demon affecting me, so please save me, right? So in the victim triangle, if you're a victim, then there's always a persecutor and then there's a savior, and you'll always be stuck in that cycle. You'll never have sovereignty because you aren't taking responsibility for your life. So if your life isn't changing, it's the same cycles, then it's up to you to change the thought. And who has the power to change it? You and only you. So, and that's taking responsibility. So we can look at the same thing. Where did Bitcoin originate from, right? We talked about that briefly about it was code. And the code was numbers and alphabet and combinations of forward slashes and parentheses and all that good stuff. And then all of a sudden we have Bitcoin. And where did Bitcoin come from? It came from someone's mind, right? And how were they able to take it from the unformed and make it into form? We still can't touch a Bitcoin, but I can use the effect of this concept called Bitcoin. Bitcoin is financial sovereignty. It is what will help you become free, right? A person I'm helping the other day trying to get their money out of the old institutional bank into this new institution of DeFi or decentralized finance that's open 24/7. One, the bank was closed Monday. She forgot. She went there, wasted time and gas. It was closed because of a holiday. And then she called her bank and they said, oh, there's a 7-day hold on your money, right? She transferred from one bank to another bank and they're like, oh, we have to wait 7 days. She goes, it's my money, right? Again, and then you have to do this other route to get it instantly. Then she says, okay, I want to upload it to the site. They said, oh, you can only do 500 at a time. Total control of your money, and as long as you allow them to, they're going to keep doing it, and they're going to debase that money that you are giving to them, because they're going to go and invest it on speculative assets such as stocks. They just think it's going to go up in this bubble we're in now. And what are we in now? October 2021. And everything's hyperinflated right now. Even some of the crypto is, right? Because they're handing out free money. And then that free money is just going to explode one day. But Bitcoin, is my point, is the origin of Bitcoin came out of no thingness. And now it's a thingness. It's a concept, right? We can take I heard it put once that we can take all the Coca-Cola machines, cans, labels, everything out, burn it. But the concept of Coca-Cola lives on. So in the ecosphere, in the cosmic ethereal realms, right? We're in this reality, but there's a ethereal realm or Ethereum, right? We use Ethereum in crypto now, but that in essence is the ethereal realm, right? Where it's a no thingness. It's still a thingness, but it's not a formed thingness. It has its own form, but it's not a physical form. It's in the supernatural, making its way to the natural world. So the natural is just a projection up onto a TV screen, but the origin of everything is that light coming from the projector, right? So your esoteric light is what is projecting your reality. Making sense? We'll check in with you. So who's responsible for it all? Right, for your existence, for your behavior, for your emotions. By now you're understanding that it's you and you alone, right? So if you want to take sovereignty, control over your own life, then you're going to have to do what it takes to get out of the institutions. I'm not for or against institution. Again, they serve a purpose, and when I'm done for it, I don't stay in the 2nd grade, I go to the 3rd grade. And we're just going to consistently go up in degrees, right? Until we graduate into a sovereign intellectual being, right? And you make your decisions for you. So basically, self-awareness, when you're aware of yourself and you're responsible for your thinking, that is sovereignty, that is freedom. Now you can do what works best for you, where you're treated best. As the nomad capitalist says, go where you're treated best, go where your money's treated best, right? The banks aren't treating any of us good, the legacy banks, right? In the crypto land, they are treating me like royalty because they want my money because they use that money to create a whole new ecosphere, an Ethereum sphere, a metaverse sphere, right? So we talked last time in the last video about being in a sphere or a metaverse, right? And now in the metaverse is our verse, we're going into a new metaverse. We're just energy evolving into a higher, faster, stronger mindset. So basically we're just looking at the esoteric internal knowledge and we're looking at the esoteric knowledge. So we want to control and harness and direct the internal so it creates the external, not try to respond or react to the external and make the external change. It's not going to happen ever. All changes happen because of you changing within and becoming sovereign and not being the victim of everything in life. So we want to observe, are you centralized thinking or decentralized thinking? Decentralized is that I'm thinking for myself. I have common sense, I have rationality, I have reasoning, I have critical thinking. right? Just because someone prints something in the news, I'm going to critically look at that. I'm going to break each sentence and each word apart, and I can normally see what they're saying in between the line, which is just BS, because they just want to scare you and mind control you, right? That's what government is, govern the mind. Mind is mint, right? They want to mint you the way they want. So basically, smarter, stronger, faster, more secure. That's what you're becoming, right? You become secure in your well-being, in your health and wealth, right? Your financial system becomes secure. I don't need a savior to save me. I don't need a bank to save me. I have a true savings account now, but no one's saving me, right? Bitcoin's not going to save me, but my choices about Bitcoin can save me. Does that make sense? I'm taking responsibility for that. I'm not giving the credit to Bitcoin. It's just alphanumeric ones and zeros. But I am aligning myself, my energy, my internal energy with that code. And I'm intertwining those codes, and I am becoming one with crypto, if you will. And crypto is just cryptography. It's the esoteric knowledge that the external world doesn't want you to know, because they know it takes power and money, which is power and money is the same to them. When you take their power, when you take their money, you take their power, and they don't like that, right? They don't want you to think, because they think with their news, they say, we know what's better for you. We know what you should do with your money and your mind. Just give it to us. I'm not that way. So Bitcoin is just an update to our consciousness. It is one of the first parachains of the esoteric coming into form in a higher consciousness. That's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a no-thingness because it's in the unflowing moment, or it's in a flowing moment from the unflowing. Making sense? I think I'm confusing myself on that one. So humans evolve, and then humans evolve and they create technology, and because of that technology, we evolve because of that technology. And we get faster and stronger. And so what is Bitcoin? What is the blockchain? It is faster, stronger, and more secure. I'm faster, stronger, and more secure mentally, physically, and spiritually than I've ever been before, because I chose to go and to learn something other than what was enslaving me. So yeah, let's just break it down, guys. So what makes you real, right? Let's think about that. You know, who's responsible for your thoughts? Let's look at the savior complexity, or the complex of other people's saviors for you and your money and your mind and your soul. Do your own decentralized savior. Save your own money, save your own health, save your own. No one else can do that for you. Can we get help from outside when we ask it? Absolutely. But I'm not giving my power, I'm asking for support. And in the crypto world, you have plenty of support to help you learn whatever it is you want to do. They're friendly. And again, not everyone in that system is. I'm just telling you, the majority of the communities I'm a part of all want to help all of us to become sovereign. We all are hungry for new knowledge, and we're thirsty for the new cosmic knowledge as well. So that about does it, guys. Hopefully that didn't take too long. I appreciate you hanging out with me on that. We'll maybe edit some of this, and so it's not so long. But if you will, again, just like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.